The next morning. No. Morning, but only by time. A time so early in the morning that everyone is still in bed. What is going on? What is it? What's happening outside? Diglett? Dugtrio? This sound. Something's coming closer? That was not a Diglett. What was that? What just happened? Something huge flew by at an incredible speed. It seemed to be going towards the northern range? Still sleepy. It's still early. I'll catch a little more sleep. Several hours later. Hey, Pricious. Pricious, wake up. Come on, wake up. Pricious, are you awake? I am now. There's some sort of a commotion down at the square. Let's go take a look. Look, Pricious, everyone's gathered around. Hey, I do not deserve this. I am outraged. What's up, everyone? Up! How could it be up, I ask you? My beautiful shop, my fine wares were stolen from me. Many TMs are simply gone, spirited away. Dark clouds fill my heart. My bank wasn't hit, but these are frightening times. Is the storage okay? No problem. Nothing gets stolen from under my eye. This mom is not about to make a stupid mistake like that. You're insinuating that we were robbed for being careless? Now wait. Tell me, Kecleon, you saw this thief? No, not very clearly I didn't. When I saw them, they had already taken off. Taken off? You mean they flew away? Yes. They flew off in yonder direction, yes? At tremendous speed, too. Yonder direction? That would be the northern range. It's impossible to determine what the thief is, so we'll need to investigate this matter properly. Yes, I beg for justice. My business faces ruination. Pricious, want to look into this? Sure, we got nothing better to do. Precious's team took on the task of chasing the burglar that struck Kecleon's shop. The burglar's alleged getaway spot, the northern range, is now open for investigation. My beautiful shop, my fine wares were stolen from me. My business faces ruination. Precious, I beg you. Anyway, let's get back to business. So you still do have TMs. It's not the end of the world, Kecleon. Welcome back to Pokémon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. In the last part, Ashley took the lead on a mission to find out the secrets of the Clear Wing, and today, as you've just seen, we've got a different mission to take care of. We're going to find out about this theft, which means heading out to the northern range. But before we do that, there's something I need to take care of, because in the last part we managed to pick up a couple of evolution crystals. That means it's time to evolve one of our Pokémon. We have the choice of Celeste, Titania, and Biolante. And today, it's gonna be Togetic. 4 evolution crystals for Titania to evolve into Togekiss. Let's do it. Awakened ones, let us begin. Titania evolved from Togetic to Togekiss. We're not going to change their nickname, because I already just did that, as you may have noticed. I had the suggestion to nickname them Navi, which I liked, but it felt a little disingenuous because I've never actually played Ocarina of Time, so I picked a different fairy from a different video game one I have played a lot. Titania isn't just exclusively a Final Fantasy XIV reference, but nonetheless, that's where I went with it. And now, we're not heading out to the Lightning Field. That's what we'll be doing in the next part. Instead, we're going to be heading out to the Northern Range, a 25-floor dungeon. Let's give it a go. Alright then, we're all set. Let's head out to the Northern Range. Ah, a Ninjask to kick things off. Okay. So, a couple of changes that we should talk about as we are bringing Discord along, as well as Titania, since we just evolved them. Oh, what's that behind us? It's a Pidgeot, by the looks of it. Looks like it was a good idea to bring Discord here. And speaking of which, we're going to get to use... Never mind, we're not going to get to use the new combo. But Discord now has Charge. He tried to learn that on his most recent level up, I believe. So we added that to his arsenal and have linked it with Wild Charge. So that should be able to give him a massive injection of power. He's already really, really, really strong when he uses Wild Charge, but now it's going to be even stronger. Other than that, I think his moves are the same. Still got Fire Fang and, of course, Discharge. But here's Charge, buffing up the electric type move. Oh my goodness. Hoot Hoot not found, indeed. And then getting the double hit just to add insult to injury. That was slight overkill. Well, that's what Discord can do. He continues to be the true glass cannon of the team. Titania, their moves have changed a little bit. We've added Ancient Power, because Titania has Serene Grace, meaning that the added effects of moves are more likely to occur, meaning that every now and then they might just get the opportunity to buff all their stats, which will make up for, I would say, a little bit of a lack in offensive stats. They're certainly no slouch, but I don't think they're quite as strong as Discord or even Pricious right now. How about you just come over here so we can do this to you? Again, this seems like complete overkill, but we're gonna do it anyway. Oh, that's a lot of damage. So there's Ancient Power. And yep, there's the all stats up for Titania. Didn't actually knock out this Ninjask, but whoop, there it is again. That's the fantasy. That's the dream when we use Ancient Power. That's what I want to see. Oh, there's another Ninjask. It's funny, we've been seeing lots of Shedinja around, but not any Ninjask up until now. But here we go. Okay, we'll do this again. Other than that, Titania has Heat Wave. They already had Heat Wave, but that's stronger now because we've been using it so much on Ashley. Hey, a Beautifly. We're getting to see all sorts of new Pokemon here. It's funny, like I said, we've seen lots of Shedinja, but not Ninjask, and we've seen a fair few Dustox, but not Beautifly, and that's all being accounted for now in this dungeon. We don't have Steamroll at the moment, which is a shame, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Ideally, I would like to have Steamroll on as many Pokemon as possible, so no matter what our composition of our team is, we can still benefit from that. Nice crit, Titania. And the other move that Titania has, which I haven't talked about yet, is Wish. I always see Fairy types as kind of support Pokemon. They have a lot of moves that can do that. So having one support move is something I wanted to do for Titania. Let's see. We can only really hit you with Heat Wave right now, but that'll do. Dodrio wants to join the team. We actually already have one, but you can tag along anyway because I like money. Oh, you have Uproar. You're going to be a pain, aren't you? This brings back bad memories of the last time we had a Pokemon in our team that could use Uproar. Hopefully there's no resting Spoink that we'll be recruiting in this dungeon. I really should lead with Precious because we have those X-ray specs on. A Trip Trap? Yeah. I much prefer the Trip Traps in this game though, compared to Explorers of Sky, because in Explorers of Sky they drop your held item. In this game it just drops items from your inventory, which isn't so bad. Hang in there, Titania. Whoops. Didn't realize we'd knocked that thing out. Again, really should be leading with Precious here. So yeah, I decided on Wish as the support move because it could be really useful in boss fights. If I can preempt a big hit from the boss by setting up Wish on the first turn. I'm frozen. It's fine. Discord can handle this, and Pricious too. And I thought out, cool. There's Wish. We should probably turn that off, actually. The Pokemon's Wish will come true on the next turn, and the HP of the Pokemon and its nearby teammates will be restored. So it could be a really good way of dealing with bosses and enemies that have big party-wide AoEs, but I'm gonna leave that off because I don't really want Titania using it for no good reason. But there it is. That's a full heal, so that's pretty nice. Another reason I chose Wish for Titania is because it's kind of in keeping with the Final Fantasy XIV theme. I personally played a healer in Final Fantasy XIV for a very long time. I also changed Titania's rare quality. They had Notorious Restoration. I changed that out for Small Stomach instead. Again, kind of more of a utility option. I don't think Notorious Restoration is bad, but Small Stomach I think is certainly better, because we can get away with having a lot less food when we're in a dungeon. Oh, 2 in a row. The second one missed, but it's fine. So yeah, we've made a couple of adjustments to the team, and as I said in the last part, I'd really like to separate these two arcs that we've got going on right now, and have Ashley handle the Clearwing arc, and Pricious handle this arc. If it turns into an arc, it might just be a one-off single dungeon. And to that effect, that's why I'm bringing different team members to this dungeon as well. No crossover between the Pokemon we brought to the Fiery Field and to this dungeon. Overall, this dungeon hasn't been particularly, well, threatening, nor has it been, unfortunately, particularly interesting right now. At least we're getting to see a few different Pokemon that we haven't seen yet. A level up. It's Discord hitting the big 5-0. Well, we got ourselves an Electabuzz, and that seems quite fitting, since this dungeon seems to be full of flying types. Hail. Oh, I don't like that. So since we're going through this dungeon and we've brought Discord along, who has been a part of the team for quite some time now, I'd like to go back to a topic that I was talking about previously, which was the personalities of the Pokemon on the team. We talked about it mainly with Pricious and Ashley, but since we're using so many different Pokemon, I'd really like to flesh out their characters a little bit. Hey, a Swellow. I like Swellow. Swellow's cool. So Discord is certainly a little rash, a little reckless. I think Wild Charge exemplifies that. Certainly rushes into things without thinking them through first, which is somewhat similar to Ashley, I suppose, in that regard. But Discord is, I would say, much more willing to fight all the time. Ashley is certainly capable of finding a different solution, but Discord's immediate response to any situation will be to try and fight it out. So I quite like this party, where you've got Pricious, who's very stoic, and Titania, who I imagine is quite kindly and very considerate of their allies. And that certainly balances out Discord quite a lot, maybe reins him in a little bit. So as I mentioned briefly, Titania is kind of the support, kind of the healer of the team. And as such, is quite considerate, but being a fairy type, I imagine there's a little mischievous streak in there as well. I actually considered teaching them metronome, because that would be really funny. Just to roll the dice every now and then and see what happened. But I didn't really find a good place for it. I always like to think of fairy types as quite mischievous and earnest troublemakers, I suppose, never really meaning anyone too much harm. Level up for Pricious. 52. Well, looks like we got a bit of a change of theme here on the 12th floor. Kind of explains the hail, I suppose, on the earlier floors that I had to deal with. Let's grab this training switch. And I suppose it makes sense that this is the Northern Range. It is a mountain range, so once we get high up enough, there should be some snow. Wonder if we'll run into some ice types. There has been... I would say there's been a lack of ice types in this game, but that's quite common for most Pokemon games, is that really there just aren't that many ice types. They've certainly tried a little bit harder to put more ice types in this game. We've seen Swinub and we've seen Snorunt a fair amount. We've had Smoochum, we've had Jinx, I think, briefly. So overall there have been at least some ice types, but you know what I'm talking about when I talk about ice types. I want to see a Sneasel. We tried to use a Sneasel in Explorers of Sky briefly, but that game certainly doesn't lend itself to using multiple teammates as easily as this game does, so we never really got very far with that. I would love to be able to find one in this game because I would be able to pick it up and use it straight away, and I feel like it would only be fitting for me to finally use a Weavile after over a year of talking it up and saying how it's my favorite Pokemon in every Pokemon video that I make. So let's keep our eye out and see if we can find ourselves a Sneasel. Developing on that point that I made previously about the difference between this game and Explorers of Sky, in that you can use multiple Pokemon effectively in this game, whereas in Explorers of Sky you're pretty much just resigned to using yourself, your partner, and then whichever 2 extra party members you choose to train up. And I know I've mentioned this before, but I really, really do enjoy being able to use so many different Pokemon in this game. It just makes me want an Explorers of Sky remake in this style even more, because experimenting with different team members is something that I've always wanted to be able to do in the Mystery Dungeon games because of how different the mechanics can be, and just how many different team compositions and how many different types of Pokemon that you can use in different ways. But I felt like I never really got the opportunity to do that in Explorers of Sky, that I was always going out of my way to train up lots of different Pokemon. It certainly just didn't feel viable, but this game gives me the opportunity to do that, and that's why I'm enjoying using so many different Pokemon, because it's just how I like to play the game, is I love to mix up what strategies I'm using and try and innovate new strategies, and it helps to keep the game really interesting to me. Because a lot of this game can be a little bit boring at times when you're just doing regular missions over and over and over again, which I've been doing a lot recently. But having that ability to pick up new Pokemon and try and come up with new strategies to use, like the Sun team for example, has certainly kept the grinding a lot more interesting, because it feels like there's always a goal that isn't just complete these missions so you can get Reviver Seeds so that you can proceed. A Noctowl wants to join the team. That's another Pokemon that we don't have, and you all should know that I'm quite fond of owls, so we'll certainly add a Noctowl to the team. Level up for Titania! Level 49. Oh, look at that! My level's up. Yeah, it certainly is. Go get him, champ. A Life Seed from that sparkling floor. Very nice. Alright, we're nearly through the northern range. Oh good, hail. This has turned into quite an endurance test, with the hail preventing us from regenerating. But we finally made it through, jeez. Wow, what a beautiful scene. Oh, who are you? I see, you're trying to get your TMs back. But nobody can stop me. I'm the Eon Pokemon Latios. If you really want your TMs back, you'll have to take them from me. Oh boy. Looks like we got a boss fight on our hands, and I used most of my healing items just trying to get through the hail. Okay. So, Latios is a Dragon Psychic type, right? Titania should be able to do a pretty decent job here. We got the Paralysis straight away. Let's get in there with a Pounce Wand. That's going to save us a lot of movement turns. Discord's in range, so Wild Charge is going to do tons of damage, even though it's resisted. Psywave, oh, okay, that only did 9 damage to Pricious, which is nice. Not sure if that was just a poor damage roll, or if this is similar to Entei, just a very easy boss fight. We're doing loads and loads of damage, so we should be able to get through this, despite our lack of items. If I'd known about the hail, I certainly would have brought some Weatherlock Orbs or something, because it really became a problem. More of a challenge than really the Pokemon, by the looks of it. More of a challenge than this boss fight. But again, similar to Entei, I think they do have to give us some easy fights to balance out the very difficult ones that we've had, and they don't want to completely stop you in your tracks when it comes to progression in the postgame. Please. Please let me go. I have to go. There's somewhere that I have to go. If I don't hurry, my little sister... Uh-oh. Well, we made it through the northern range, but... did we do the right thing? At least we managed to pick up some recruits. We got ourselves Electabuzz, we got Swellow, we got Noctowl, we got Surviper. Look, he's waking up! Where? This is Pokémon Square. You fainted in the northern range, so we brought you back here. You! How dare you steal my fine selection of quality merchandise! You had better be prepared for harsh justice! Now wait. There must be a good reason for this. We should at least hear that. That's right. I have to get to my sister. Ow! Take it easy. You can't fly for now. Tell me, how do you justify what you have done? I have a younger sister. Her name is Latias. Latias crashed somewhere in Pitfall Valley. What? Pitfall Valley? What is that? What is Pitfall Valley? It is near the northern range. They say anyone so unlucky as to fall into Pitfall Valley will never again emerge. Latias and I were flying over the northern range, when suddenly what appeared to be a meteorite struck Latias on the wing. Her wing disabled by the blow, Latias tumbled down into the depths of Pitfall Valley. A meteorite? Pricious, do you think that it was maybe a chunk of the blown up meteor? I went to Pitfall Valley in hopes of rescuing my sister, but I made little headway. I wasn't up to the task. So that drove you to steal technical machines? Yeah. I intended to make amends after I saved my sister. But that doesn't mean I can get away with thievery. It was wrong, and I'm sorry. Oh my! It is not a problem at all. For a reason so compelling, it can't be helped. However, even if you were to plumb the depths of Pitfall Valley, what would you do then? The lowest regions of Pitfall Valley are a void. You will wander forever, neither falling nor living. What then? So much time has passed since my sister crashed. Latias hasn't been able to climb out of the depths. She's all alone down there. Even if I end up like her, unable to escape, 2 would be better than 1. Latias wouldn't have to be so alone. How foolish. Do you think Latias wishes for that? But it's a place you can't escape, isn't it? I don't see how we could do a rescue in a place like that. No. There is but one possible way. You can? How? You already have the means in your possession. The teleport gem. Use that. The teleport gem? The one we used to get up to the sky where Rayquaza lives? Exactly. If you were to use the teleport gem from deep within Pitfall Valley. That's it! If we did that, we could escape with Latias. Pricious, this is a rescue that only you can do. Go get Latias! Pricious gained access to Pitfall Valley. Well, now we know what Pricious needs to do next in order to help out Latias and Latios. But in the next part, we're going to be switching back over to Ashley's mission and heading out to continue on the Clear Wing story arc. I hope you enjoy me switching up these story arcs. I think it makes the series a little bit more interesting to watch. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next part. Thanks for watching. Papa still hasn't come home.
Our son. Sorry to make you wait.
Oh, that voice.
Get set.
Ha! 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 Papa! Our son, we're sorry for causing you anxiety. Filed under sentences I wish my parents would say. Papa! Where were you? We were traveling the world. The world is vast. There are countless Pokemon around the world that are unknown in these areas. That's where you were gone. Papa, did you see all the Pokemon that aren't known in these areas? Of course. What do you take us for? Of course. Papa, you're so special.